Hello guys, welcome back to the inequality topics. In this video we focus on the quadratic inequality. So this topic is not easy, so I think you should focus on what I teach in this video. The first one I want to review you about the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means you have to find the value of x to set the function to be equal to 0. So you using the delta formula. If you don't remember about the delta formula, I think you should rewatch about my previous video about the quadratic equation. And after that, you come back with this topic, and we learn more about the quadratic inequality. Because when you want to solve the quadratic inequality, you have to find the true value for sets the function will be equal to 0. So it means you have to solve the quadratic equation first. For example, in the question A, you will see that you have the quadratic equation in the left hand side. So the first step you have to solve the inequality means you have to find the value of x for this function will be equal to 0. This means you have to find delta. And maybe you remember about the delta formula equal to b squared minus 4ac. It means in the question A you have the 16 minus 4ac and the delta in before. So after that you will got the x1 will be equal to minus b plus square root of the delta divided by 2a and 4 plus with the square root of the 4 divided by 2. So 4 plus 2 divided by 2 means 3. And it's the same way, but you have to change sign. It is minus the square root of the delta is 2a. So 4 minus 2 divided by 2 will be equal to 1. So when you got the h1 equal to 3 and h2 equal to 1, so this is step 1 for solve the quadratic inequality. And the second one, you have to set the x-axis and to rearrange about the two solutions of this function is 1 and 3. This arrow will tell you about the values of the x will be increasing from the left to the right. So the first one I have to put the first value here is 1 and the second one in the 3, because 3 have to be greater than 1, so 1 will be the place in the left hand side of the 3. So after that, from 2 points here we divide this x-axis will become into 3 parts: part 1, part 3, part 1, part 2, and part 3 here. And the size of this inequality will be divided by 3 parts here. And the first one the second one I have to identify the number of the question A. It means in the first coefficient of this inequality, it is a x squared. The a here equal to 1. It means positive number. So the outside of this interval 1 and 3 will be the same the characteristics of the question of the value of a. It means this one is greater than 0 is positive, so this one has to be the positive, and this one has to be positive. And the next one in the interval, at the middle interval, from the 1 to 3, yeah, you have this minus. So from this side, from this symbol, you will see that this equation or this function will be less than 0 when x will be belonging to the interval from the 1 and 3. It means 1 less than x less than 3. The most important in this way here, you have to identify the value of a. In this question, the value of a is ax squared. It means the 1x squared in this case. So 1 positive. So the sign of the 1 and 3 parts will be the same sign of the value of a. So this one has to be greater than 0. So this one is positive and this one is positive. And the middle position, middle interval from the 1 to the 3 will be negative. It has to be changed sign from it is different to the sign of the outside of the less than 1 and the greater than 3. Yeah, this one is not easy. So we continue with the question B. In the question B, quite easy. You want to get the value for this function to be equal to 0. It means x squared equal to 4 and x squared, x will be equal to plus or minus 2. So this is step 1. You find the values of x for set the function be equal to 0. So the step 2, you have to put it in the x-axis. And don't forget, you have to rearrange the value of x. We have here is the 2 and the minus 2 is mean you got the minus 2 here and 2 here. 2 greater than minus 2, so 2 will be placed on the right hand side of the minus 2. So the two values, these two values will divide the x-axis into the 3 parts. Part 1 here, own value less than minus 1. Part 2 here, own the value from the minus 2 to the 2. And set 3, part 3, own the value of x greater than 2. So after that you have to define the values of the a. The value of a is mean the coefficient of the second degree term. The second degree term here you got is the x squared, so you got the a will be equal to 1. It means positive. So the third part and the 1 part will be the same positive with this value of a. So this one is the positive, this is positive, and the middle interval of this x-axis will be different side with the two both outside. So it means it have to be minus 2. So from this one, you will see that the inequality requests you about the value of x for the function less than or equal to 0. So you have to take the inside. You take the inside of this interval. It means the minus 2, less than x, and less than 2. But the request is also about the equal to 0. So it means you have to take the both value of the minus 2 and 2. Step 1, find x. Step 2, x-axis. And after that, you will define the value of the identity of the value of the coefficient x squared. So put it in the step 2. And after that, you compare with the request of the question and find the interval corresponding to. Okay. Question C. Step 1, to find x first. In this case, you want to find x, it means you have to define delta. Delta will be here. I will rearrange this question. First, it means the x squared plus 8x plus 15. And delta will be b squared minus 4ac. It means a squared minus 4a and c. 64 minus 16 equal to 4. So h1 will be equal to the minus 8 minus square root 4, okay, plus first and divide by 2. It means the 2a's, 2 times 1. So this one is the minus 6 divided by 2 is in the minus 3, and h2 will be equal to minus 8 minus square root of 4 divided by 2. So this is minus 10 divided by 2 equal to minus 5. And step 1 is finished. Step 2, draw x-axis and rearrange the value of x. Because the two values of x is minus 3 and minus 5, so minus 5 will be here and minus 3 will be here. And you have the three parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. The characteristics of the part 1 and part 3 will be the same value with the value of a. So in this question, you got the a equal to 1. You got the coefficient of a squared equal to 1. So a will be equal to 1. It means the positive. So the interval of 1 and 3 is positive, and the middle interval will be the negative. It will have to be different to the both outside 1 and 3 parts. So from this assist, you will set the question to be less than 0. It means it has to be negative. So negative in here, and the final result is -5 less than x and less than -3. Okay. I hope you get more understanding about this question, but don't worry if you don't clearly understand all about this question, because this question is not easy. So just practice more with me, get more understand exercise by exercise, so we will get more understand all. Question D. Question D, first one, you have to change form of this question D. One side has to be equal to 0. So I have to change the 8 from the left hand side. Right hand side become to the left hand side. Less than 0. So one side equal to 0. So it's the right form. And in this form of the quadratic equation, to find the delta, to find the value of x. 4 minus 4 a and c. 4 plus 82, so 32, so 36 here, and h1 will be equal to minus 2h plus the square root of the 36 and divided by 2, and this means the minus 2 plus 6, 2 here and 2, so h2 minus 2, sorry, 36 divided by 2, minus 2 minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 4. And step 2, 8 axis, and rearrange these two values. Minus 4 will be left and 2 in right. So part 1, part 2 and part 3. The value of the a here is 1, positive. So the part 1 and the part 3 have the same value of a. So the middle interval will be negative. This question asks you about the less than or equal to 0. So I will take it minus 4, minus less than x and less than 2. But in this case, you take the both value for set the function equal to 0. So I will take the minus 4 and minus 2 now. Okay. Question E. Delta minus 6 square minus 4ac. So 36 minus 20, and we got this 16, and h1 will be equal to 6 plus square root of the 16 divided by 2 is mean 4 here, 10 divided by 2, 5. h2, 6 minus square root of 16 divided by 2, 6 minus 4, 2, 2 divided by 2, 1. Yeah, this is step 1, and step 2, 8 axis, 1 first, 5 here. The value of a is 1, positive. So the both outside parts will be the same, positive with the value of a. And the middle interval will be negative. The question asks you about the greater than 0. So I will take the part 1 and part 3. I will cancel or skip the interval. So from this one, I will have I will have the conclusion is x will be less than 1 and x greater than 5, because this interval will be separated by this term, separated by this part, so you have to change. You have to write down the solution into the two lines. This can be write down in the one line. Okay, question F. Transform first. One side has to be equal to 0. Delta 4 square minus 4ac. C here is minus 12. So this is blood. And 64. So h1 equal to minus b plus square root of 64 divided by 2. S minus 4 divided by 2. H2 minus 4 minus 64 divided by 2. So this is 8 minus 4 minus 8 minus 12. Minus 12 divided by 2 minus 6. Minus 6 here, 2 here, and the value of a is 1. The coefficient of the a square. So this part is positive, and my negative here is. And the question asks you about the positive, so I will take the both outside interval. This means I will take the h less than minus 6, this part. And the second one, I will take h greater than 2 here. In the same way with the question J. First, I calculate the delta 10 square minus 4ac and 100 minus this one is 84 equal to 16. H1 minus 10 plus square root of the 16 divided by 2 minus 10 plus 4 divided by 2. So minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3. Minus 4 divided by 2. So minus 7. Okay, the second minus 7 here, minus 3 here, and the question of a, the value of a should be equal to 1. Coefficient positive, and this one is positive, and this one is negative. So I will take greater than or equal to 0. So I will take both the value of the minus 7 and the minus 3. This means first part h will be less than or equal to minus 7, and the second part is h will be greater than or equal to minus 3. This is the answer to question J. Okay, continue with question 8, more complicated. So the first one I have to rearrange. So you have no the equal here. Delta will be equal to 9 square minus 4 minus 1a and c. 81 plus with 88. So h1 will be equal to minus 9 plus square root of the 169 divided by minus 2a. So this one is the minus 9 plus with 13 divided by minus 2. So this is 4 minus 2. minus 22 divided by 2 is minus 11. So in the x-axis, 11 in the left, minus 2 in the right. The value of x here, the value of coefficient of the second degree term is the minus 1. A equal to minus 1, negative. So the both outside is negative interval. Negative, negative, and the inside or the middle interval will be equal to positive. So it's a question about the greater than 0. So I will have here is the interval of the part 2. This means minus 11 less than x less than minus 2. Okay. Did you get more understand? Just practice. We continue. Question I. Rearrange this first. And then calculate delta. B squared minus 4a and c. Wow, it is a little bit big number. Ready? This big number is 4 plus with 2, remember 1 here. 6, so 256, and h will be equal to the minus b, is mean 2 square root of the 246 and divide by what? Divide by minus 2. Okay. H2 will be the 2 minus the square root of the 2. Here is minus 2. So we have 2 here plus with 16 because the square root of the 256 is 16. And divided by minus 2 is mean the minus 9. This one is minus 9 and 2 minus the 16 divided by minus 2 will equal to 7. Okay, so in the x-axis, minus 9 here and 7 here, because 7 is greater than the minus 9. So the value of the a is minus 1, negative. So negative first, and the middle interval will be the positive. The question is about the less than or equal to 0, which means you have to take this. The middle interval will be skipped and take the both outside of the interval. This means h will be less than or equal to minus 9 and h will be greater than or equal to 7. Okay. Question J. The delta minus 4ac 1. So h1 will be equal to minus 11 plus square root of 1 divided by 2. So it means minus 5. Minus h2 is minus 11 minus square root 1 divided by 2 is minus 6. So minus 6 here, minus 5 here, and the value of a is 1. So positive, negative, and positive. The question not deal about the negative or positive, so I will take the both outside interval. H will be less than minus 6 and it will be greater than minus 5. Okay. So the question K, L will be your homework.